John, I present you with this token of appreciation from the parade committee. We hope you don't limp too much. Thank you, sir.
As you can probably tell already, Jerry had I guess it's the deeper roots, but she also knew a hell of a lot more about what was going on here than I did. So, and that'll become probably more apparent as we go on. I was a little concerned when Jack was going to go into the things that nobody knows we did, and I thought, oh God, what's coming up? But Jack, I do appreciate it. I want to thank the committee for this honor. I do appreciate it, and I do want to congratulate Jerry. I have, as Jack said, supported this group through the years, but let me tell you, when you have Jack O'Leary calling you saying, I need your support for this, that, or the other thing, you're going to support it. So it isn't any credit to me. It's your ambassador, Jack O'Leary, that got you that support. Now, I don't have the roots to probably have the pedigree to be here, but one, I received a number of calls and notes, but one I received really felt me, I knew I was on good grounds, because I got a note from John Sullivan, and it was just Sean McMillan. But, you know, when McAuliffe called me and said, hey, you're the honoree for the Irish night, I said, when is it? He said, January 24th. And I thought, oh, great, he's not telling me something. That's the date UConn is playing at Notre Dame. And probably, if I'm the honoree of this group, I assume this group wants to be represented at that game. They must be going to send me. But, you know, certainly the question came up, why me? And all the mysteries through our years, I always say to Anita, how in the world could they select me? She didn't even wink. She said, it's your grandchildren. And you know, don't doubt for a minute she's right. Anita and I have 3 children, and all of whom, as McAuliffe would say, married mixed thoroughbreds, which gives us the 6 grandchildren, all of whom, based on that, I guess, are slightly more than 50% Irish. I did look at the list of some of the previous recipients, trying to get a feel for just what's going on here in the past. And it's clear that the committee raised some things very high. If you're a member of the clergy, an elected official, member of judicial, or if you can sing and dance, you're in great standing with this committee. But, you know, you stop and think of it. On any of those items, I'm disqualified. Another one that popped up, and it's all over the handwriting there, is fire chiefs. If you're a fire chief, you're in pretty good shape. And I did a lot with fire chiefs through the years, because it always seemed to me that fire chiefs were trying to either build a firehouse, they were doing something somewhere that somebody didn't want. And they needed a lot of help. And I did always help them. I know I spent a good deal of time with Jiggs Hughes many years, but nobody's given us any awards for the times I spent with Jiggs Hughes. It's been mentioned, but I looked down that list and was thinking, what am I doing here? Because I figured Irish was a prerequisite. And in fact, for some reason on that list, it's in bold lettering. I assume he keeps the list. But Dan Camilleri's name showed up. One that, a great friend of mine that sticks out, and maybe this is, you know, a better clue of what am I doing here, but Joe Hallisey was an awardee, and Joe and I spent many, many years playing ball with our children up at Chester School. And as you may know, Joe was a very good baseball player, seriously, and he was a very good pitcher. Now, the highlight of my career, no question, my athletic career, I once hit a Joe Hallisey fastball through the top window in the south wall of the Chester School. And I was very proud of it. I wanted to, get credit for it. But a couple days later, I learned that Bill Pitkin, your director of Park and Rec, had a full-scale investigation going on of who broke the window in the Chester School. Well, I was just hoping somebody would call me so we could get it in the record that I hit that ball. But what happened was they called Joe Hallisey, and damn it, he took credit for having hit it. So I never got credit for that. I lost that one. It's, I guess I could figure if any group was going to honor me, it might be the Irish, because I grew up in the south end of Hartford. In fact, I grew up in Pete Barry's backyard, seriously. But in south end of Hartford was 50% Irish, it was 50% Italian, and it was 100% Democrat. Now, I was not going to get an award in that third category. And I received a great award from the Italians many, many, many years ago. Anita and I were going together, and I got invited down to her home for Sunday dinner and to meet her parents. Well, when we got there, but I gotta say, Anita's parents, nobody, on a very serious note, nobody could be blessed with in-laws like I had. They were just the greatest people that you could meet. And it probably tells you where Anita got her virtue. She inherited them. And I'd like to introduce her, my wife, Anita. But that day they introduced me to Anita's mother and said he was John. Well, Granny looked at me and she looked kind of skeptical. And actually she looked like she was trying to solve a crisis. And it turns, Anita had a younger brother named John. And finally, Granny turned to John and she pointed and she said, "He's John." Well, okay, nobody was going to get into that argument. But she turned to me and she said, "You're Guido." And, true story. From that day on, Anita's family, and later on, our 3 children, all picked that up. I've been Guido for all these years. So I figured John Sullivan giving me Johnny McMiller, Sean McMiller is probably the equalizer. But I gotta say, all right, we'll concede the grandchildren put me here tonight, and we are blessed with 6 great-grandchildren, or 6 grandchildren, and they are more than 50% Irish. We got Ann's, they really have kept, particularly my sports schedule, very busy through the years. My daughter Ann is here, and her boys, Dave and Rob, they went through the high school and they did, I think they had 3 state soccer championships in the 5 years they were there. We've now got my daughter Nancy and her husband Jim are here. The granddaughters Laura and Susan, who they really keep a full schedule for me to attend. And then I got my son John and his wife Lisa, along with Regina 4 and Margaret 1. And this is the one, I can't give you a date, but incidentally, my daughter-in-law said when I walked in here tonight, "Your kilt is out in the hall, you better get out there and get it." So it gives you a feel for what a great granddaughter or daughter-in-law I have. So but a day I'm really looking forward to is when the granddaughters Regina and Margaret and their mother do the Irish dances, because that's going to be great. I can't give you the date, but I can tell you it's going to be great. Thank you very much.